Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another fabulous episode of Open House Live, the only live YouTube show bringing you real-time looks at some of the absolute best open houses taking place in Las Vegas today. What's going on, Paul Manguel?
I'm doing great, Mike. Good to see you and excited to see some new faces on the show today and showcasing some different properties in different parts of town.
Definitely some new faces, two first-timers, some newbies for us, but not necessarily newbie to real estate.
Have some experience and do have a newer agent as part of our program today. But that's the good thing about real estate is you can be involved as young or as old as you'd like to be. And actually, I'm sorry, I probably should have said it that way, but you can be involved in it as long as you can. And it's a good thing, experience and new blood. It's all very exciting. And this market definitely has all of that.
Speaking of this market, Paul, I've noticed something this morning. Actually, prepping for the show, there are over 500 open houses in the Vegas area today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over 500.
That's
And,
amazing.
I knew that number was a big number. Usually when we prep for the show, we're around 350 come Saturday morning. But driving to the show, to the studio today, which is my office, not really a studio, I saw 4 different open house signs taking place.
Yeah, it's interesting because, with the market, how homes are staying a little bit longer on the market. Their days on market is extending a little bit. And now that school has started and the kids are gone, so now people are more apt to be like, okay, it's time to get this going. Now, if they're looking to sell, now we're in that crunch time for the next 60 to 45 to 60 days of people looking to handle stuff before the holidays. Because we know once November pulls around, between Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day, it's a pretty significant drop off in real estate activity on the market, which if you're a seller, might be a great time to get back in the market. If you're a buyer, again, not as much competition for any properties. So it's a good time around there, but because there's a little less competition.
One of the first things I thought of when I saw the second open house sign, then I saw the third, like, what the hell? I knew there were a lot going on, but then it dawned on me. School is back in session.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the big driver. I know a lot of agents take that time off, but as soon as school comes back around, they're out hustling.
Yep. And now sports are back in session for the kids, practices, all the things. So right now, 11 to 12 o'clock on a Saturday is prime time for practice and everyone's out and about. So that's why it's a good time to get your open house going, and you're going to get your looky-loos, but you're also going to get people who are pretty serious about looking and purchasing right now.
Even though it's still 105, 110 degrees out, people are out there looking at homes. So real estate agents, do not overlook the open house. Great way to attract buyers.
No, very, very true.
And a great way to attract your next listing, because you're basically interviewing for your next listing through your open house.
100%. And that's, it's not often that, this person who comes to your open house is that buyer of that property. It happens, but it's the lead follow-up and the lead generation that agents get from open house, I think, is key, and the exposure for that property and for other agents to check it out.
Well, let's take a look. Who do we have on the show with us today? We've got Barber Terkhorn from Realty One Group, a veteran in the industry. We're not going to say how long, but she is a veteran. And then we've got Karl Catarata from Real Broker LLC. He is kind of a newbie. What's 5 months in the industry, you said, Paul?
Yeah, something like that. He's definitely a newer agent, but has been hustling. And honestly, I looked up his production just recently as he and I met, and he's done more deals in the last 5 months than some agents have done in the last year. So good for him. He's a good agent, and of course, Carol's a great agent. He's been around for in our market for a few minutes. So it's nice to have 2 agents that are hustling and working hard for their clients on a Saturday, because that's what we do. There's no days off in real estate.
Some take days off, but they're not doing the production Karl is. So there you go.
True story.
All right. Well, let's jump right into it. Let's meet Ms. Carol. How are you, Carol?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the open house show. Appreciate it.
We appreciate you for being on with us today. And so tell us a little bit about the house that you're showing us today before you give us the grand tour.
Okay, we're in Summerlin West. We're in a gated community. We have 4 bedrooms. We're over 3,000 square feet. And I have just the best sellers. The house backs to a park. Nobody behind you. You have a street behind you, but nobody behind you. You're overlooking a park. You have strip views. You have mountain views. We have 2 1-stories on either side. This is a 2-story. So that's nice. You have views from every single window. And this seller has done some really spectacular things. He moved out. His family moved out, and they're no longer living in the area. But before he left, he said, I always wanted a bigger island with some extra cabinets. So I'm going to put in a waterfall island and some extra cabinets before I go. You name it, he did it. It's perfect. And then he paid for professional staging. So my pictures, when you see them online, are what it looks like in person. It's not virtual staging.
That's good to know. We see so much of that with the AI these days, and you don't know what's real and what's not. So we're excited to get the tour. And I like what you talked about, the single stories around it and then the street behind it. That's how my old property was. Good privacy in the backyard, which is nice.
Yes, and it matters when you're also capturing views.
Absolutely.
You don't want to look in someone else's window. You want to look at the mountains.
No, that's a true story. Well, let's see what you got. Take us for a tour.
Okay, great. One of the things about this house is it has 10-foot ceilings on the main floor and 8-foot doors, which was an upgrade and option. And we have the large baseboards, really open, fabulous floor plan. When you get through here, you'll see. They have a flex space that is an office. They used it as their office, but open. You can close it. You can keep it the way it is. You can do gaming, whatever you'd like. But there is a full bathroom that services this too. So some people have even closed it in for a 5th bedroom. But they did all new lighting. So every room is really, really well lit. And I mean every bedroom, the loft, the primary, everywhere you look. And the other really special thing they did, besides this spectacular island that I already talked about, doing the waterfall, expanding the island, and adding the cabinets, they also did all new hardware, new, even the chandeliers and upgraded lighting. So in every closet, and I know closets don't seem that sexy, but these closets are sexy because every single closet is specially done. And I'm going to show you one, and then we'll go back to the kitchen. But they have a drop zone that I think anyone would kill for. Over here, they finished it all, 10 feet of the ceiling up. You've got a bench, you've got a drop zone, you've got cabinets, you've got a place for your shoes under here. So when your kids are going off, the next day you've got the hook, you've got their backpacks, you have everything they need to be organized. And so this big open floor plan will never be cluttered because you've got this. So I just think that's spectacular.
Yeah, a lot of places don't have the, they call them mudrooms in other areas, but we don't have a lot of mud here and not a lot of rain. So I like that
it's
drop.
Like a second pantry though. They do have. We're lucky because they have a walk-in pantry, but that's like a second pantry. And we're all Costco nuts, so to have a lot of storage. There's also what I call a Harry Potter room under the staircase. So this house has a lot of storage, which when you have a very open floor plan, it's important to find that storage because you want it to look like this, even when you're living in it, right?
100%.
And so they did a custom backsplash as well. And my pictures kind of make it look bluish, but everything is a two-tone with the black, and it's that really cool matte black. And a couple other cool things that they did, they added a lot of extra pavers. They have the artificial grass. They did another pergola. You have a covered patio. And even on the driveway, they did extra pavers to make it wider, but they did not take the money from Southwest Water District. So you can put a pool, you can do whatever you want there. And
That's exciting to know. They didn't do the water conservation easement. They did it on their own, just say
to
very.
keep that flexibility, which is always smart. So
That
it's
is a
nice.
really
Right
great
now, there's
discussion.
zero maintenance, but you can do whatever you want. Spa, pool, add a garden, whatever you want to do. So we're
That's
going to
a
go
great
upstairs
part of
real
that.
quick.
Very
And
good.
they have a little bit of carpet on the stairs. They have little ones. But other than that, the whole living space of the house is the luxury vinyl plank. So you don't have carpet in the bedrooms. You don't have carpet anywhere. Just the staircase for safety. So that can be changed out, but that really worked for them. And it's a nice staircase that turns. So we have a big loft, which besides the flex space downstairs, we have a huge loft. And we have 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms.
Very good. What if I see how beautiful the furniture is? The furniture you said is professionally staged. Does the staging company, if someone loved this house like this, would they be able to purchase the furniture with it?
You know, I don't know. I haven't asked them. My experience in the past when we've used professional stagers is they've always willing to sell the furniture, but I haven't gotten a number and I haven't asked. So I will ask because this is the first time I've worked with this stager. So this is the primary. It has a double door entrance, but very private. And then you have an amazing covered terrace. And you look right at the National Conservation, Red Rock Conservation. And it's just gorgeous. And you have a park, and you have mountains to the right. From every window you have, and it doesn't translate on a camera as well as it does in person. In person, it's stunning. So you might be able to look at my pictures and get a better idea.
Yeah, it never does translate the way we want it to on that. Like when people take a picture of the moon, you know, and how beautiful it looks, and it looks like the size of a marble on the picture. But I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure
but in person, it's stunning. We have mountain views from every single window. And I'll just show you in one of the closets, the primary closet is finished. But something unusual is all 4 bedrooms have walk-in closets, including the secondary bedrooms, every secondary bedroom. One of the secondary bedrooms has an ensuite. So we have 3 full baths upstairs. And then, of course, we have that full bath downstairs. But here's the primary, so it does have a separate tub and shower. And one thing that this house has that, if people aren't familiar, I have people from out-of-state come in and say, what is it with your spray on the walls, that speckle finish? This has a skip trowel finish, which I really like.
Yes, very nice. Not the regular texture.
Yes.
Who's your cameraman
Do we have
today?
time to go anywhere else, or are we? We have strip views, by the way, out of our primary, out of our loft. You won't be able to see them on this little camera, but at night it's just stunning, and the sunsets. One of the things about if you haven't bought a house in Las Vegas, it is fabulous to have a south-facing home, if possible, the rear of your house. You get winter sun. You get sunsets, you get sunrise, but you don't get beating sun in the hottest part of the day. So my favorite orientation, if I can ever find a house that faces south, that's the one. And this is facing south on the rear. So you just get stunning views from all your terraces, patio, sunset. In the winter, you're not depressed because you're not facing north, all your windows. So it's a great orientation.
Excellent. Well, Carol, who's your cameraman today?
My cameraman is my partner, my husband, and a great realtor. He's licensed too, and it's Barber Terkhorn. So we're Team Terkhorn. We've been working together for over 35 years. He has a degree in construction and real estate from Denver University. We worked together forever. had our own company, and now we're with Realty One, and we love it. We've even done international projects, but we just love Vegas. And we came from Colorado about 20 years ago, and we like to say Las Vegas is the easy life, and it just is. We don't have traffic. We're just spoiled here. It's just such an easy life. And I'm really excited to be able to sell people a house in Las Vegas because I know they're just going to love it. They're just going to love it. Their life will change.
True story.
Hey, Carol,
Well,
with your husband's background, what does that bring to, your transactions, with that construction background?
It brings a lot. So in other states, there are a lot of hidden problems. In Las Vegas, there aren't a lot of hidden problems. So number one, when someone sees something that makes them nervous, he's able to tell them exactly how it can be fixed and how easy it is and how much it'll cost. So because he's done construction, he knows exactly. So it's when you have people coming out that are really scared of mold or scared of something, you can tell them in Las Vegas, unless there's a constant source of water, we're not going to have mold, and mold is easy to mitigate because we're a desert. So things like that. So he can be really good information. He knows what something costs to fix up when you're working with a buyer. With a seller, he can help with anything that they need to prepare for selling, whether it's switching out faucets, all the honeydews that you've been putting off forever, he can do. He doesn't charge anything for the service. We just charge for parts. So 99% of the time he can do it. We just closed a $1.6 million home, 1-story, and the gal has a little bit of a back problem and it didn't have pullouts in the cabinet. So he said, no problem. We ordered the inserts that he had to build on Amazon, put them together, and every cabinet now has pullouts. So she doesn't have to lean down in the bathroom and in the kitchen. And it only took him a day with another worker. And that's a tremendous benefit for any seller that works with you. Because, we know what that's like. There are problems. You get a contractor. It may take 2, 3, 4 days for a contractor to come out to give an estimate, another day or two. It makes the transaction longer. And just to have his experience with you just makes that transaction a lot easier and more simple for that seller and the buyer. It is. And even when we get a contractor, he's there. I can't tell you how many times he's had to kind of school the plumber to say, no, you want to do it this way. Or, he always shows up, even if he's not doing it and we need a licensed person, he supervises. And supervising is important because not everyone knows what they're doing, and he does.
That's a huge value for your clients. Huge.
It is. And it's a value to us. It's a value to us because we have a better product to sell. So when you see one of my houses on the market, it's the T's are crossed and everything's working perfectly.
I love to dot those T's and cross the I's.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
I mentioned cross the T's and dot the I's. Yeah. But anyway, you know what I mean.
Yep, absolutely. No. Well, wonderful, Carol. Beautiful house. How long
and we just lowered it $100,000. So on Thursday.
Okay.
I mean, this is a great deal. My sellers are so lovely, and it'll be an easy transaction for someone, and they'll absolutely love this home. Every single closet, every little detail stuff. So
well,
thank
wonderful.
you for having me on.
You're very welcome. You're going to be out there until 4:00 today, right?
I am.
Perfect.
And I have ice cream. I have Haagen-Dazs bars.
If you're in Henderson, I'd be coming over.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, good luck out there, Carol. If anybody is interested in this property, reach out to Carol, schedule a private showing with her, and buy this wonderful home.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carol.
All right. Thanks, Carol. We'll see you next time.
Okay.
Great house. Yeah. Great house, great staging. And professional staging makes a big difference on a property. So
it really does. When we're walking through that house to start with, I was saying to myself, I love this house. This is a house for me. And then when I saw the stairs, I was like, shit.
That's because you're
stories.
old.
Not what I like.
Yeah.
Hey, I can do the stairs. I just don't like to.
Exactly. Well, we're excited. Let's see. So we have a next guest,
Yeah.
Karl.
We are going to come to Karl in just a moment. We see him backstage, and we're not sure he's in the camera view. So we're gonna pause for just a moment, see if we can connect with Karl and get him to move in front of the camera. But so this house was Summerlin West. Paul, you know the Vegas Valley very well. Explain what Summerlin West is compared to Summerlin North.
Well, I mean, Summerlin West always goes further towards Red Rock and further towards those areas. And, you know, if when Summerlin, when it first started, it was just Summerlin, but as it continued to grow, the largest master plan community, I think in the Southwest, if I'm not mistaken, just continues to grow. So Summerlin West goes further out, further up towards the mountains. You have higher elevation, which doesn't seem like a lot. People forget, you know, we live in the high desert, and people don't realize that our elevation is anywhere between 2,500 and 3,000 feet above sea level. People don't realize that. They think we're all, you know, they think because it's hot that it must be low, but we're high desert. And when you get out towards Summerlin West, especially in the winter, when if it gets a little bit of weather and gets a little snowy, Summerlin West gets it first, and they'll get a little bit of snow. But again, don't worry about it if you're moving from a place with snow. When I say snow, it's like 10 minutes of snow, and just gets your car dirty and looks pretty for a half hour, and then you're back at it. So nothing too insane.
Looks like Karl is here with us. So let's bring Karl on right now.
All right.
What's going on, Karl? How are you?
Karl, can you hear us?
All right. Let's step away for just a moment here. We're going to text Karl, probably ask him to log off and log back on. He may have ear pods in. We're not sure.
So I just messaged him, so he'll pop on and pop back off. So we'll get him going here in just a minute. Mike, what's going on with interest rates right now? I saw that there was some potential buyback thing, and what's happening?
Interest rates are kind of ugly right now. Really, this past week, you know, it's, again, I say this an awful lot. We look at things on a daily basis and actually hourly basis. And, you know, there are certain times of the day where we see rates drop pretty substantially for us. The borrowers won't generally see that difference, but when we see the bond market moving pretty crazy, that gets us a little worried. And we had a few of those days this past week. The mortgage interest rates are closely tied to the 10-year Treasury bond, so that's what we evaluate every single day. And you know, we dropped by, I think Thursday we saw a 34 basis point drop, 0.34% is what that means. Friday continued to drop, but the cool thing about that is it did not translate into a direct change in mortgage interest rates. One of the hard things to always look at from a consumer's perspective is if I look at the 10-year Treasury and it's falling today, does that mean my mortgage rate is going to change as well if I'm not locked in yet? And it doesn't always. We're staying relatively stable. You know, pre-Iran conflict, we were hovering just about 6% for FHA, and 30-year loans were 6.25. Now we're pushing 6 3/4 to 7. Oof. So we need to get this Iran conflict solved, get it over with, so we can get back to those low 6s.
Let's hope so. All right. Well, looks like Karl's back. Let's give it a shot.
One more time. Let's go, Karl.
Cool. Can you guys hear me well?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Awesome. Yes, I can hear you guys now. It's good to hear you guys. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. Thanks for joining us today, Karl, and excited to have you on. So tell us a little bit about yourself before you tell us about the house.
Yeah, so I'm Karl, or Karl with a K, because it's with a K, not a C. I tell people that's my nickname. And I'm with the Thomas Group at Real Broker. So Karl with a K at the Thomas Group. Our office is located in Henderson. Sorry, there's an echo too. It's an empty house.
Okay.
Our office is on St. Rose and Henderson, and we're here live from my very first listing, actually. I just joined real estate 7, 8 months ago. Can't say the 6, 7 thing right now. So 7, 8 months, 7, 8 months ago. And this is my first listing. And luckily, if there are any viewers that are looking for a listing similar to this one, we might have to find you a new one because it's already sold. We actually put it into the MLS on Thursday, and it already had a full list price on Monday. So I was super grateful and look forward to showing you guys around this house.
That's
Great job,
great,
Carl.
Harold. Congrats. Yeah, let's
Thank
see what you got. Go ahead and take us on a little tour and see what you got.
Yeah. So this is, and before I grab the camera, now that I can hear you guys, this is 136 Weston. This is a 3-bedroom, 2 full bath. It's 1802 square feet. What I really love about this property is it's quiet, it's quaint. The days that I've been doing the open houses here, the neighbors come by. All the neighbors know each other in the neighborhood. It's kind of that like small town vibe here in Henderson. And what I also love is just the low maintenance of it, right? Is that all across the whole home, you'll be able to see the same tile of floor all throughout, which is pretty good for easy cleaning. I honestly think it would be great for a starter home for a new family, or if you're downsizing. So any folks who are looking to downsize and relocate to Las Vegas, this home is perfect. Can't share all the details about the current buyer right now, but look forward to sharing that when we close next week as well. So let me grab the camera and we'll go start through the first part of the house. So what you're seeing right now is the kitchen over here, but let's head on over to the front of the property. So let me go open this up right here. So you do get this extra security door and these nice palm trees that provide some type of shade from the brutal Vegas heat. We're outside to the front of the property over here. It is a 1-story home, easy access to the garage right there. And when you're bringing guests throughout, it's pretty easy as well. The neighbors are super friendly to your left and right. We'll head back into the property.
A good sized front
Walking
yard.
into the property. For the viewers at home, I would just ask, what was your imagination? Would you put a carpet on top of this tile right here? I honestly would definitely put like a large carpet and make it like, I don't know, playroom for the kiddos. Put a little TV over here. Probably remove the mirror on this side. Onto the left side of the front door, you do have your formal dining room. What's interesting about this is that this is actually the original lighting from 30 years ago. So I was telling the sellers, wow, do we want to keep it? Do we want to replace it? Kept it. And buyers on the market actually loved it when they were walking through the open houses in the past
Nostalgic.
couple of weeks. Let's head on over back to that living room. You see my tripod. I'll move that over here. When you're walking into the living room, you do get this kind of spacious, open concept into the kitchen. So from the kitchen into the living room space, what you can see over here is TV, your couch. And what's interesting over here is that you could definitely put the TV on that side of the wall or over here. And when you're having let's say your afternoon nap and you're just over here on your couch, you can actually see the mountains, and it's just the sunset just comes, and it's super beautiful and super calm. And we'll get outside there shortly. When you move over to the kitchen area, you do have this small island. I honestly thought it was a little bit dated, However, when I presented it to the buyers in this market, they actually liked the design. So I guess, what do you all think? Would you switch it out with more modern cabinets? Would you keep it a little bit of a nod to the past? Who knows? Appliances all included. Over here, little breakfast nook. Some folks said that they would build out a little breakfast nook. Some folks said that they would extend the cabinetry. It was interesting to hear all the different folks who walked through the property and said what they'd probably do with it. Before we get to the backyard, though, let's head on over and check out the 3 bedrooms. Let's go past the living room, past the formal dining. And while we go over to the bedrooms, what would you guys do with this wall over here? Some folks have said that they would tear it down. Some folks have said that they would tear it down, to make it go over throughout the whole entire for the floor of the property. There's also tiles in the garage too, so you could definitely demolish this whole thing and install the tiles there. But
Yeah, because it's
I'm
not
curious
load
to
bearing,
hear what you
right?
guys think. We'll
It's not
head on
load
over.
bearing.
This is a little. Oops, it's a little bit stuck. I'm not sure what's going on over there, but this is the coat closet over here, and to the right side is washer and dryer included. 2-car garage. When you head on in, you'll see that I've put my car in here because it is hot outside in the burning Vegas heat. Enough storage. Everything's included. The sellers have moved to Florida, so everything you see is what you get, iron board and all. So head on
Good. I'm glad
over
we get the ironing
to
board.
the first bedroom. Some folks have said that the first bedroom is a little bit smaller. We'll head on in together. It is a little bit of a small space, but who knows? Little office, little library for the kiddo. Head on over into the hallway. This is the bathroom here in the hallway that is for these 2 bedrooms. I honestly thought that we should have removed the little seashells. However, people really love that throughout the open houses. They were like, "No, keep the seashells. I don't want to slip in the shower." Let's head on over to the second bedroom, similar to the first one. Good space here, and then into the primary. The primary does have 2 separate closet spaces. So onto your left side, you have that walk-in closet. Interesting that the carpet super clean when we acquired the property. Super, super clean. So the last tenant that was in here, it was a rental, kept it super, super clean. And head on over to the right side, you do have this mirror that goes throughout the whole entire primary. And how would you design the space? Would you put the bed this way or would you put the bed this way? I honestly think a large California king right here, another mirror, and just that peaceful view out into the mountains, which we'll get to shortly. Over here, you get your bath, your shower, 2 sinks, and a little meeting room. I'm just joking. We'll head on over back out into the hallway. And before we go over to the backyard, one thing that folks have said when they walk through this property is how would they design or put their little tchotchkes up there? Would you put plants up there? Would you put like jars? I don't know. There were a ton of buyers who walked through, and they were just, the ideas were free flowing. All the kids were like, "We could climb up there." Told them no, don't climb up there. We're gonna head on out to the backyard. Backyard, it does include misters, and then the HVAC was newly installed in 2021, so it's a 5-year-old system. You can see the low maintenance turf out in the backyard. You can see that I need to do a little bit of sweeping with the with some of the palm trees. And when you go outside to the backyard, past this turf, let's see if my arm can extend a little bit over the wall, is you can see that you don't have a neighbor that is all the way up to your backyard. So you can definitely enjoy some privacy there. And you can see over there, when it's sunset, the beautiful Henderson Mountains. Last thing before we go is check out these palm trees. What would you do here? Grill, hammock? Personally, I put a hammock along with these little misters. But that's this property at 136 Weston. You guys, what do you guys think? Would you move in here? Pretty easy to clean the floor and low maintenance.
I like it. Can you hear us okay, Carl? Carl, can you hear us?
Hopefully
Sounds
I
like
didn't
you-
lost you in the
in the audio again.
Hear us. I'm gonna text him right now. You can't hear us. We can hear you. All right. Well, what I do like about the property is, it's the fact that it's already sold. Good for him.
Yeah.
That it's already sold and ready to go.
First listing, it sold within, what do you say, a week?
So unfortunately, I'm having audio issues, but here's the thing. Let me log back off, log back in, and live from the scene. I feel like I'm on like the evening news. So give me a sec.
So I'll have them log back out and log back in.
Yep.
But I do like that it's the contrast of what we had in properties today. Old Henderson, 89002. That's far out there, wagon wheel area, versus West Henderson. So the furthest, about as far east as we could go, then back about as far east as we can go, and then back as far west as we could go on that other property.
Yeah. Let's see if we can looks like he
he's
logged off. But hey, let's jump in and take a look at what the financing on this property would look like. It was listed at $430,000. Well, let's
pull it back in.
One more chance. Yep.
Can you hear us, Carl?
Yeah, I can definitely hear you guys now. Sorry, I was just talking your ear off about this property, huh? So
it was great. We got some good turn. Come back to us. So we're great. That was great. Definitely, I thought with the pot shelves in the beginning, that definitely knocking down that wall, that backyard, great opportunities for them, and the fact that it's a pretty good sized lot for Henderson.
Yeah, I honestly think it's great. I also think that, whether you're downsizing or it's a new starter home, I definitely think it's pretty easy to maintain, right? I think it's good maintenance. Some folks have told me that, it's with bigger houses, sometimes you're cleaning everything, or you're getting the maids and the cleaners to do it all. But honestly, I think it's a pretty cozy house to live in.
Yeah, very good. Well, Mike's about to show the financing and how that looks on purchase of a price of this property. So switch over to that, Mike.
Let's clean a few things up here so we can see it. There we go. So we're looking at this home, $430,000 sales price. This is FHA category, first-time home buyer, someone putting minimal down, looking at 3.5% down or $15,000. Makes the loan about $422,000. Now you're looking at this, you're like 15 minus 430. That doesn't equal 422 because we're adding in the mortgage insurance premium or the upfront mortgage insurance premium that we have to pay on every FHA loan. So 6.5 or 6.75% interest rate. We're looking at a monthly principal and interest payment around $2,700 a month. Now, if we add in the monthly mortgage insurance premium of $190, property taxes on this property of $148, homeowners insurance around $75 a month, we're looking at an all-in monthly payment around $3,151 for, not bad for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in a great part of old Henderson.
Yeah, and just like anything else too, where there's opportunities. This is FHA. This is with the absolute minimal down. You can put more down. You can buy the rate down a little bit on properties around town. So that's I think where buyers need to really get in tune with what's happening in our market is they just see what interest rates are, and they don't explore the options of what they could actually do. And they're looking at something going, oh, well, I can't buy this property because interest rates are 6.75%, but they don't talk to their lender. They don't talk to a realtor. They just think in their mind they can't afford it. Well, what they should really do is ask somebody, and they could potentially afford it with a buy down. Like a buy down of a point would make a significant change in here, and an extra $10,000 down on the property would make a significant change in their monthly payment.
Yes.
And I just wish more buyers would take the time to really look at some of the different options and not have initial sticker shock every time they
And
walk around.
that's one of the things that I really impress upon people, Paul, as I'm sure you do, is instead of just looking at what a hypothetical monthly payment would be, get with the professional. You know, get with a mortgage professional that will actually look at your scenario and run the numbers and give you options. It happens all the time, you know, where I meet with someone reluctantly, they were looking at buying a house and talking about the numbers, because let's face it, the numbers are not the glamorous part. They want to go
Right.
look at properties. They don't want to talk about their finances and how much they're going to have to pay each month. But when we do that and we go over options, 9 times out of 10, Paul, it is a relief to them. It's not as bad as what they thought it was going to be,
Right. No,
because
that's
either
true.
they're going to chat GPT and getting not correct advice based on their scenario, or they're just listening to other people that say, oh, it's a horrible time to buy a home.
Yeah. Carl, what are you telling clients right now when you're out shopping?
Yeah, definitely make sure you talk to at least two or three lenders, 2 or 3 folks who can give you real advice, right? I always tell folks, before you even hire me on, interview other realtors, because you want to get the highest, best advice when you're out in the market, and also for one of the largest investments of your life. So I like to tell folks that it's definitely important to leverage different advice. Yes, AI and ChatGPT and Claude are definitely great tools, but there's nothing better than talking to a real human and actually exploring homes, figuring out the financial scenarios of them, and actually getting to closing and getting the keys in hand.
That's it.
Carl, what'd you do before real estate? Because as you
Oh,
were
gee.
giving a tour of the home, I was just thinking to myself, this is not a brand new real estate agent. There's some other skills here that he did before real estate.
Yes, so definitely, I'm pretty local here to the Las Vegas area. I have ran for office before, have been involved in government and politics, and making sure that we just improve our community, whether that's at City Hall, at our state capital, making sure that laws and policies are positively impacting homeowners and protecting property values. And that's what I essentially did before real estate. But I can definitely tell you that, the political industry is way different than helping, seeing a smile on someone's face when they close on a home. So 2 different industries, and it's definitely been fun seeing the mix and mingle of them.
Very good. Well, it was a great tour of the house, and you did a really nice job today. And thanks for joining us today. And when your next listing, when you have something coming up, that's our next open house. If you'd be interested, love to have you
Yep.
back on so you can showcase it. Because again, what we like to do for you as an agent and for your sellers is that way you have one more tool in your toolbox to show them how you're going to market their property.
Absolutely. I'll make sure I get a camera and the mic by then. I'll have
You know what? It's not you. It's the program that it's not you. I promise.
Oh yeah, gotcha. I was like, look, I'll get someone to get the camera for me. So thank you guys both for your time, and yeah, lovely. Congratulations to the buyers of this property, and look forward to getting you guys the next listing.
Let's go. Good luck today.
All right,
Awesome.
thanks y'all.
See you, Carl. And Carl
Awesome.
walked off the screen just like a professional.
Very good. Yes. It's always great having these agents, and again, we had the contrast today, right? We had far deep old Henderson, which those properties have been built long ago, versus Summerlin West, which is a relatively newer construction area compared to that. Completely different sides of town. Professionally staged. We have a vacant house where the people moved out. And then quite the difference. We had 8 months in the industry and 35 plus years in the industry, which is great. It was a really nice contrast today, just to show the different value that agents add to their clients, but also just what's available out here in this market. And we've shown some really nice houses on the show, and and other ones that need a little help at some point. But these were two really good ones today.
You know, and even the homes that need a little bit of help, they need to be sold. You know, so
Yeah.
someone's going to buy them at the price they feel comfortable at.
True story. True story.
Well, Paul, what's coming up for you? I know we might not see you for a few weeks.
Just a lot of work travel, family wedding, race, couple of races.
Okay.
Just a lot of family stuff coming up over the next several weeks, which keeping me busy as we get into the fall. What about yourself? Anything exciting coming up?
No, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, a lot of work travel. You know, working in the 1031 and title side of things. There's a lot of things I'm doing to expand my market and to build up business there, but also have some family and personal things that are happening as well, which is keeping me. I'm not going to be in town much in September. So
Okay. Well, as I always tell you, I'll take you when I can get you. So
all right, brother.
when you're here, when you're available, I want you on the show. And next time, let's make a point. Let's jump back into the 1031 exchange discussion, so we can just continue letting everybody know what 1031s are about and how it can benefit them.
Absolutely, we would do that. Investors. That's what we're talking about with exchanges.
Love it. Love it.
All right, Mike.
All right, sir. Thank you.
You got to have a good afternoon.
Everybody, we will see you next week. I'm going to have a new co-host next week, not a replacement, just a fill-in for when Paul is not here. And you're probably going to look at him and I and say, these guys are twins. They look exactly alike. So check in next week, and I want to introduce you to my fill-in co-host.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Paul. Have a great week. See you next time.